Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janessa. I am basically just a lifestyle vlogger now. I just talk about my life and my journey and things that are happening. Mostly right now it's revolved around our son because he is new, and so I'm just talking about all my mommy experiences and everything that's been going on since our son has arrived. And that's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you so much to all of the people who have just been following along on my journey, who watch my videos, like, comment, subscribe. It just means so much to me, and thank you so much for your patience as I manage making my videos, editing them, being a new mom, all of that stuff. So thank you so much. I have recorded this particular video twice already, and every single time I go to edit it, I realize that I'm actually talking about like 3 different topics at once and like meshing them together and like this messed up vocabulary of I don't even know what, because I'm so tired. So here goes recording number 3. Hopefully it makes it onto my page for you guys. Okay, so today's video is going to be all about controversial topics. Before I get started, I want to say, one, I am definitely not like a healthcare professional or like a know-it-all or anything like that, okay? So I don't want anyone to be like, oh, but she has no idea or any of that. This is just my personal opinion and personal experience with all the controversial topics revolving motherhood. Number 2 is I am an each to your own person. My son is very loud. Anyways, I am an each to your own kind of a girl. So whatever works for you is what works for you, and that's what's best for you and your child and your children. So I'm not judging, and I'm not saying my way is the only way to do things or the best way or anything like that. So if I don't say that, or I sound like I'm like judging or being cruel or whatever, I'm totally not meaning to. So please don't take it that way. And let's get into our controversial topics for the day. So my first controversial topic is breastfed versus formula fed. Now, for me personally, when we started to try to have a child, I always knew that I wanted to breastfeed my children. I don't know why, like, no one that I grew up with was like super strong about it that I can remember, or like that was the only way to do things. I just always knew that if I had children, I wanted to breastfeed them for as long as I possibly could. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I was breastfeeding my children. That is not to say I am against formula, because I'm not. If Bentley ended up needing formula, or I wasn't producing enough, or like I just couldn't do the breastfeeding thing, then 100% I would have went with formula if we needed to. But fingers crossed, knock on wood, thank the Lord that I am producing enough that Bentley has been solidly just on breast milk since he was born, and that is my plan, is to continue that. So I do plan on pumping eventually so that he can be bottle fed too, and you know, his dad can feed him and I can sleep in some days and stuff. As of right now, I cannot pump, and that's in a whole nother video that I actually managed to record already, as to why I can't pump as of yet and what is going on there, but that's a whole nother topic. So on the topic of breastfed versus formula fed, there are some people who have extremely strong opinions on either or way, and I think it should, like I said, each to your own. I think it should just be whatever works for you guys, because motherhood is hard enough, and society seems to make this particular topic extremely hard on moms who choose the latter. And I just think that overall, out of all of these topics, we shouldn't be doing that to parents or even to mothers. Like, motherhood is hard enough, and we're all trying to navigate what is best for our children. So I think we should just be supportive of however people are feeding their babies. They're feeding their children, so really not a big deal. So anyways, for me, breastfeeding is the option and the thing that works the best for us as of right now. That's not to say it won't change. Okay, so controversial topic number 2 would be circumcised versus not circumcised. But when we found out that we were having a son, I told Bryce that I didn't care. Like, it was because I did a ton of research on it. There's a lot of back and forth, what's best and what's not. And then when we got to the hospital and Bentley was born, we ended up asking the doctor, because they were like, do you want us to schedule to get this done? Here in Saskatchewan, you do have to pay for it, and there's only a couple clinics in the city that he was born in that actually do it. So we would have had to stay in the city probably a little bit longer, or go back if we would have chose to circumcise him. But the doctor basically told us that there's no health benefits to circumcising, and they almost find nowadays that it's actually more of a health risk because of the healing process. Lots of times they end up getting infected. But they said circumcision actually revolves more around culture and religion nowadays than it does being the best choice or least infections or anything like that. So after we talked to her, I just told Bryce again the same thing. I said, it's whatever you decide, and I'm 100% behind you. So this is a controversial thing. There is a huge amount of people that believe that circumcising their child, their boys, is the best and only way. They believe it's the healthiest thing. And again, there are other people who do not. Bryce chose not to circumcise Bentley. And like I said, I'm 100% behind him either way. It doesn't really matter to me. The reason we chose not to, together we did talk about the reasons why we were not going to do it. Not against it, but not going to do it, was the fact that we didn't want to have to put him through any unnecessary procedures. You know, growing up, we have no idea what's going to happen, or how prone he's going to be to accidents and stuff like that. And so putting him through a procedure when he's so young, when there was absolutely really no reason to do so, we just felt like it's not something we're going to do. We don't want to subject him to that. So we chose against circumcision. So something I should have said when I first started this video was society has such a big play on all of these topics, and that's why they're controversial topics about parenting and motherhood. Because if it weren't for society, there would be no controversy. It would just be, you know what, that's what you chose to do, awesome for you. That is how it should be, but that is not how it is. Because society plays such a big role and can be so cruel to people that it makes these topics controversial. Because if you don't do what so-and-so thinks is the best way or the best thing to do, then they're going to put a ton of opinions out there. They're going to get all the people who support them and think the same thing as them on your back, and it just blows up. It's very, very hard. Bentley is he's a month and a little bit. And I am now learning to just be like, yeah, I really don't care what you think. And yeah, I don't care what society thinks. And you can say what you want to say. But it can be so, so hard as a new parent to have society on your back and have even your friends and family on your back about what they believe. So having all that mixed together as a new parent makes all of these topics so much harder, because when people find out that this is what you did, or this is what you believe, and it's not what they did or they believe, then they literally ram their opinions and their reasoning down your throat. And it was really, really hard for me at the beginning. Like, a lot of my family, people who are closest to me did this. And I honestly think that it's unintentional that people do this to you, but they do it to you, and it's very, very difficult. So that's what makes these topics controversial. But I also think that it's something we need to put a stop to. So I personally, that's something that I aim to do, and I aim to do even when I was pregnant, was put a stop to ramming opinions and what's right or wrong down new moms' throats or moms' throats, because do what works best for you, right? So that's what makes these controversial topics. So controversial topic number 3 is going to be about co-sleeping. So co-sleeping versus not co-sleeping. And the not co-sleeping is such a variety. So it could be, the bassinet, it could be their crib, it could be sleeping anywhere else, and then obviously co-sleeping. So I am pro whatever. We do both. So Bentley is a very sensitive baby. He has reflux. He has really bad gas issues. And anytime he goes through a growth spurt of any type, like even if it's just a tiny bit, he's a very, very clingy baby. And so if we don't co-sleep, we get no sleep. So what we do is whatever works best. If the only way he's going to sleep that night is on my chest or in my arms, like beside me in bed, then we co-sleep. If he will be swaddled and will go down in his bassinet, then he'll sleep in his bassinet. So I am pro everything. Basically, I'm just pro whatever works in this topic. There are some people that are very, very strongly set on either or, of course. And I actually know people who are very strong set against bassinet sleeping, who are like, you have to put your baby in the crib or you're never going to get them out of your room. You're always going to regret it. Da, 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 da. And if that's what you believe, then that is fine. But I don't believe that. I don't think that's best. So that's where I stand on this topic. I do whatever works best for us. If he doesn't co-sleep with us, he sleeps in his bassinet. He does either or. Like I said, it just depends on if he's going through a growth spurt or how bad his reflux and gas is that night. Number 4 for controversial topics is swaddle versus not swaddle. You would think this wouldn't be a controversial topic. I really think it's kind of ridiculous that it's a controversial topic, but it is. So, this is something that, again, a lot of people that are in our lives, Bryce and I's life and Bentley's life, are pro either or and have made their opinion on either or extremely strong. Now, here's my opinion for what works for us. When we first go to bed, we always try to swaddle Bentley because there are nights where swaddling works. He zonks out. He sleeps in his bassinet for, 3 hours at a time, sometimes only 2, but 3 hours at a time. I feed him, put him back, don't unswaddle him. We have a great night like that. There are other nights where you swaddle him and he is like, F you, mommy and daddy, forget this. I hate this. I don't like this. Get me out of this thing. And he won't sleep in a swaddle, but he will sleep in his bassinet just with a blankie. And then again, there are those nights where he just needs to be near me. And so those nights we definitely don't swaddle because that's not safe. So we do all of the above when it comes to swaddle versus not swaddle. I know the opinions on swaddling are very, very strong because it makes them feel like they're in the womb again. It makes them safe. It gets rid of that Moro reflex, their scare reflex. If you don't know what the Moro reflex is, it's the scare reflex where their arms like go woo, and it wakes them up a lot of times in the middle of the night. So people say swaddling will kill that. It does. I've watched him actually start to do it and his arms can't go anywhere and then he stays sleeping. But I've also seen where he does that and he's not swaddled and it doesn't wake him up, and it does wake him up. So it just depends. But then there's people against swaddling, they overheat, it's risky, they can choke, yada, 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 yada. They can come unswaddled and it wakes them up and then you don't get any sleep. All of these on either or side are true. There are risks with swaddling and no risks with, there are high risks for some people and low risks for others. And for us, just the same as the sleeping arrangement, we do whatever works best that night. The next topic, number 5, would be feed to sleep or not. It's actually a huge controversial topic that I didn't even realize was one until I started talking to people about what I do. I feed to sleep. During the day, it's a lot different. Bentley usually doesn't feed to sleep except when it's his nap time, but if he feeds a lot, but he has 3 nap times during the day. Those times of days he feeds to sleep. The rest of the time when he's feeding, he doesn't sleep. We have conversations, I burp him, and then we go to tummy time or playing or walk or whatever we're going to do. But during all of his sleep time and all night, he feeds to sleep. I like it. I find it builds that connection between Bentley and I really think it works best for him because trying to feed him, play, sleep, which is like the way of millions of people believe is the best way to do things, does not work best for us. And at night, it's literally just the worst thing in the world. So all night and during his nap times during the day, I feed to sleep and it's so peaceful. He literally zonks out so well. He has such good sleeps. And that's just the way I believe is best. That being said, because of his reflux and his gas, I burp him in the middle of all his feedings, whether it's daytime or nighttime. I will pick him up in the middle of his feed when he kind of lets go and is taking like a breather, burp him really, really well, and then I put him back to feed again, and he usually only feeds for a little bit, and then he goes to sleep. And so, yeah, I am letting him use me as a soother. And a lot of people are super against that. They don't believe that's best. They say it's going to nab you in the butt when they get older. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But for me and my connection with my child and what feels best to me is it feels best to me to let my child feed to sleep. And I think that is just, again, it's in each your own way. It's whatever works for you. It's whatever you think is best. And best for us is I let Bentley feed to sleep. One of the hugest controversial things that I have heard, and our last one that I have on the list of things that I have personally dealt with, would be cry it out versus not cry it out. Okay, guys. This goes in the same category as can you spoil a baby? So here's my opinion on it. Again, remember what I said at the very beginning of this video. I am not saying anything to offend anybody. I'm not saying my way is the only way or the best way. I am saying this is my belief in how we do things. Now, cry it out versus cry it out, I think is BS. I think there should be, to me, there's no question you don't let your baby cry it out. There's no question there's no way to spoil a baby. A baby 100% relies on you for everything. Crying is the only way they can tell you that something is wrong, something is bothering them, and they need their parent to take care of them or comfort them or rock them or burp them or feed them or change them or whatever it is. So I don't believe that cry it out is something that should even, I don't think cry it out should even be a thing. I don't believe in it. I do know there are a lot of people that are like, oh, well, when he gets older. Yeah, well, we are not at that stage where I feel comfortable with it. When he's 2 years old, maybe I will be like, yeah, you can cry for 3 minutes or a minute or whatever it is. But at this point in his life, I do not believe in cry it out. I don't think I'm going to believe in cry it out probably ever, to be honest with you, because even the thought of it breaks my heart. I do not do it, but even the thought of it does break my heart. So I don't believe in cry it out. I think it's unnecessary and I think it's cruel. Now, again, I'm not saying this to offend anybody. And it goes along, like I said, with the topic of can you spoil a baby? I don't believe you can spoil a baby. Like I said, they 100% need you. You are their everything. They can literally not survive, not comfort, not grow, not prosper, not flourish without you. So I do not believe you can spoil a baby. So that is actually all I have for controversial topics. I only covered the ones that I have personally faced. I'm sure there are a million out there. Absolutely. I've heard tons of things that are controversial topics, but I personally have not experienced or dealt with them, so I didn't touch on them. Like I said at the very beginning, I'm not touching on these topics to offend anybody or try to make what I believe the best way or make you think that. I am, like I said, each to your own, but these are the things I have dealt with. Bryce and I have dealt with, Bryce and I have faced, and these are the way we believe that works best for us. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Maybe this helps you. Maybe this opens your eyes to other options that you never thought were options out there. I don't know. Or maybe as someone who's pregnant, you want to know, what you could be dealing with. I don't know. I just thought I would share the controversial topics, share what we believe and what we're doing, and maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, maybe it angers you, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm not aiming to anger anybody, offend anybody. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can message me down below or put your opinion down below if you feel like it. If you don't feel comfortable there or don't want to start anything there, you can message me privately, and the description box has all my messaging information. There's a couple ways to do so. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up / like button on your way out, which gives my channel and my overall channel some support, which is very much needed right now, as well as hitting that lovely subscribe button to watch more videos on mommy topics and my life and on Bentley and his growth and development. And also I upload new videos once a week. Now it used to be, yes, absolutely, I upload videos every Wednesday, but now I upload a video once every 7 days, once every week. So stay tuned. Another thing with subscribing is if you do subscribe, every time I upload a video, it gives you some sort of alert that I've uploaded a new video, so you always stay current with my videos. So again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned as I have a ton more videos, and we will see you all next time. Don't forget, stay healthy and safe with the craziness going on in our world right now.